So I just got my hands on a brand new application called WatchforTesla, and it's exactly what it sounds like. So here on my watch, I have an Apple Watch Series 5, so it's not the latest and greatest, and I have a 2018 Tesla Model 3, which again, not the latest and greatest, but finally we're in a situation where with the new update to this WatchforTesla application, as long as you're on the latest version, you can now finally use your Apple Watch as your one and only key for your Tesla. Before, you were able to control your Tesla to a certain extent as long as you had data and you had your phone around you, especially if you didn't have a data-enabled Apple Watch. But now with this new update, it uses the Bluetooth on the Apple Watch to control everything as if it's your phone or as if it's a Tesla key. So let me show you how to set it up and then show you everything that it can do. So here we are, everybody. You can see that I'm using one of the complications or the watch faces that you can actually have pre-installed from the WatchforTesla application. It is $19.99, so I will link it down below if you guys do want to check it out. But in my opinion, it's 100% worth it, especially if you're somebody who likes to leave their phone at home, doesn't like to just bring it with them at all times. I know a lot of people like to go on runs without their phone. Same thing should apply with your Apple Watch and your Tesla. So this is one of the complications, and I will say, if we go into the application, you want to make sure you're on the latest version. So if we go into our settings right here, you see that we're on version 1.2.9. The version that this started working on was on 1.2.7. So as long as you're on 1.2.7 and higher, this will work perfectly fine. If you're on the versions from below, then as long as you have data connectivity, it'll be a little bit slower to work, but it will work and you will be able to control your Tesla, but you do need internet for it to work with a lower version. And then to set it up is very, very easy. So all you have to do is scroll down in your settings and make sure that this toggle is turned on. So enable Bluetooth direct vehicle control. You turn that toggle on, then you grab your Tesla key and place it on the section in between your cup holders, right here where you normally would put it to activate any key or to turn it on. And then once that's done, and then just like that, your Apple Watch will be 100% ready to control your entire Tesla via the Apple Watch. And like I said, I have an older Apple Watch, a Series 5, so it should work with anything newer than that, and maybe even some of them that are older. I'll list down in the description which Apple Watches will be able to get this done. It probably has to have Bluetooth, which all of them do have, but it probably needs to be on the latest watchOS, which is currently watchOS 9. So I want to show you guys how everything works, and like I said, we are using Bluetooth and not data, so this should happen relatively instantaneously. So if I click right here anywhere on my home screen, because I have the entire Apple Watch face going on, and I go and get out of my settings, you see that I have a couple things happening. So currently I am charging the car, so I'm getting a live feed of how I'm charging my car. I have some shortcuts on here. It says that my vehicle is unlocked. It's telling me what the temperature inside of the vehicle is versus the temperature outside. We have how fast we're charging over here as well. The estimated charging time, which is taking all the information from the car itself, which I love to see. So I no longer have to open up my Tesla app to see exactly what's going on. It gives me a little graph as well. And then just to show you guys that it does work in real time, right? So this is my frunk opener. We'll click on that, open frunk, give it a second. And you can see that immediately it opens my frunk right there. You can see that it's happening on the dashboard and it happened on here. And then if I swipe right, you have a bunch of other ones. Now you can customize what your watch face is showing via the actual app itself, which I'll show you once we get back into the studio. But here you can open the trunk, press open, and the back of the trunk opens immediately. We can unlock the charging port, which is already doing it. We can defrost, we can do the heated seats, we can enable Sentry mode, we can vent the windows. Let's vent the windows real quick. And there you go, it did vent the windows, which did take a second, but it still worked. And then we can press close the windows. And just like that, my windows are closed. And then a couple other things that you can do, you can honk if you want to, so I'll press the honk button. You heard that honk right there, which is cool to see. You have a compass, you have the ability to unlatch doors, you can fart with the car as well. So everything that you would need is in the Apple Watch application, which is so, so cool. And now I can use the Apple Watch just to drive away with the car without needing to use my phone anymore, which is absolutely awesome. One more quick feature that I wanted to try was actually the unlatched doors option. So if I click on unlatched doors, it lets me know which one I want to unlatch. So let's say I want to do the driver's side door. You can see that it unlocked the door by itself. Let's go back here, right behind it, and it unlatches the door. Very, very cool. So now that we're back in the studio, I did want to pull up the app and show you guys exactly how to navigate it and how it works in conjunction with the actual Apple Watch app. So if I pull it up, you can see that all the information that you would get from your regular Tesla application is now showing up here. And for the most part, you could do literally everything except for software updates. That's what the developer told me. Everything is functional. You can control it fully. You can charge it. You can stop charging. but the only thing you can't do is ignite or start or initiate an actual software update. So for that, you do have to go back to your other Tesla app, but there should be a way to eventually get that done. But at the end of the day, I'd probably personally rather do the software update through Tesla's dedicated app versus a third party, but everything else here works perfectly. So here you can see that we're at 85% charge. It gives you the mileage average or the mileage range. We do have the long range edition, so 85% gives me 250 miles. And then you have some shortcuts that are already put on here. So you have the fan off, the front, the unlock, and then the trunk buttons right here that you see. And if you click on the controls, it gives you the rest of the controls that you would want. So you're able to unlock it, remote start, defrost, seat heaters, everything that you could imagine is on here. You even have the vent windows, which we tested directly from the Apple Watch already. You know, you're able to honk, you have a compass, you can even initiate a fart, which is kind of cool. And then you can also start and stop charging. And then it gives you all the information that's already on the application on your watch. So this is kind of just a secondary way to interact with the actual application. All this information is already on the application, but you can actually go into, let's say, the graph itself and see how you've been doing in terms of charging and things like that. And then if you go into your settings, we do have the ability to add controls in control order. So I'm going to show you that you can do this also on the app itself, but if you click on this button, you can do 2 main control rows. So if I go back over here, you can see that now I'm actually have 8 total options and 8 total shortcuts to actually control the car itself. But if you go back into settings, go to controls order, and here's where you can actually control the order of how these actual apps or these shortcuts or these commands actually show up on the phone and on the Apple Watch. So you have the climate, open front, unlock, open trunk, and then you have the unlock port, close port, remote start, home link. Then you have a bunch of other ones right here, which you can easily, again, just grab over here, move this down. Let's say I want to do the seat heaters up here, and then I'm good to go. So then that moves it over there. Then you go all the way back, and then you see that seat heaters is now put in there perfectly. Some other settings to consider, you do have the ability to choose a vehicle. So if you have multiple Teslas, you can control multiple Teslas through this application. You can add Siri shortcuts, which are very easy. So you can just ask Siri to do whatever you need it to do, which I haven't actually played with quite yet, but it's something that I do want to do. You can change the appearance to dark, light, or auto, which is the theme that your phone uses. I keep it on dark just because that's what I like to do. And then you also have this enable Bluetooth direct vehicle control. Now, we already set this up on the watch itself. So the Apple Watch application and the iPhone application act as 2 different keys at the same time. So if you want to register the application of your phone on the actual car itself, you can do that as well. There's no real need to do that because I have my Tesla app and it's already registered as a key. But again, if you wanted to do it on your watch, then all you have to do is hit that toggle on the settings inside of the watch application, which I showed earlier, and then you're good to go. And now let me show you a couple more things inside the watch app before we finish up the video. So just a couple more things that I wanted to bring up. First off is that it does bring some actual watch faces for you to actually just play with. So this is a watch face that is specifically for the WatchforTesla application, and every single one of these complications is for the Tesla app. So you can see that if you click on any of them, it takes you directly into that application. So here, as you saw from what I was showing you on the app itself, all the information that was on the app is also on here. So you have all your shortcuts for the controls, the weather inside and outside, like I mentioned. And then what I did want to show you overall was in the settings, just one more thing on how to control which actual controls are showing up, but it's the same way. So 2 main versions of controls show inactive controls as well. I can turn this off to make sure that I only show 1 row at a time. So if I go back up here, only 1 row is showing, but I like to have both of them on there. But those are just a couple other things that I wanted to show overall that actually just make a lot of sense. But you can see that this is turned on because I already set it up in the car as its own battery key. You can have different reminders on here. You can show advanced, log out, show all your logs. So everything that's on the phone app is also on the Apple Watch app because this is an Apple Watch app first, not the other way around. But that is going to do for this video, everybody. If you did enjoy, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below so I know you made it to the end, and let me know what you guys think about this application, especially for Tesla owners. Is this something that to you is worth $19.99 to get an additional key and just be able to use your Apple Watch in order to get this unlocked? Again, I'm using an Apple Watch Series 5, so I don't have the latest and greatest Apple Watch. I'm using an older watch that's now about 4 years old, and I believe as long as you're on watchOS 9 or newer, you're able to do it. So any watchOS 9 supported Apple Watch should be able to get this done because they all have Bluetooth. So Apple Watch SE, even I think the Apple Watch Series 4 is able to do this. Don't quote me on that, but I am using the Series 5, so obviously the Apple Watch Ultra, the latest Series 8. But for $19.99, in my opinion, this is an absolute no-brainer if you are a Tesla owner that wants to use, their Apple Watch as a dedicated key. Now, if you had asked me this a couple weeks ago before the Bluetooth connectivity was able to be used as a key for the car, then maybe I would have been a little bit iffy. It's still a very robust application, but a lot of those controls are on the Tesla app. It's just the fact that you can use your Apple Watch as a key, and then all of these features are just so homegrown and so well put together color that it just makes this package very, very nice, and to me, worth it for a one-time payment of $20. And again, once you do it once, you can actually control as many Teslas as you want that you own. But that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, leave a comment down below, and like I said, leave a dolphin in the comments so I know that you made it to the end. And if you guys wanna watch more macOS, iOS, iPadOS, or again, even watchOS videos, click on one of these right here. But until next time, I'm Fernando, and I'm out of here. Shout out to the Tesla Watch application developers and the owner, because this thing is awesome, and I love that it's homegrown and made for a purpose and made by somebody that just wanted a solution to a simple problem. But until next time, everybody, peace.